Hey, what's up? I'd like to welcome all of you to KAG Spotlight. This is going to be our first edition of the Spotlight, where we dive deep into the stories and insights of the KAG Accountability members. Are you ready to peel back the layers of each and every last one of the KAGs? Buckle up, because we're about to embark on a journey of growth, challenges, values, contributions, and future versions of ourselves. You ready to take it off, man? Let's go! So Ski has no clue what's going on, guys. Okay, just want to let him know that. Welcome to KAG Spotlight, Ski. You are the first member to be spotlighted in our new edition of KAG's Accountability Spotlight. So people that are watching this, when you get a chance, give a round of applause to Ski. He had no clue that he was getting on here to be spotlighted.
I sure didn't.
I was just pestering him, bugging him about hopping on the call and being able to do that. Not gonna take too much of your time, King. Just got a couple questions for you. Spotlight your journey. First and foremost, we're gonna start off with your personal journey and some growth questions.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Can you share a pivotal moment in your personal or professional life that has been significant influenced by your journey?
Yeah, man. It has to be finding my biological father. You know, that was like, personally, Lee, that was one of the biggest moments in my life, especially like in recent memory, recent history, was finding my biological father. So just to get into it a little bit, for majority of my life, I was told a story, about my family, about my name, Sain-R Edwards Jr. and my father, my birth father. But from my mom. But when I came to a certain age, I started to realize that the man she said that was my father wasn't my father, and she would never give me the real story on how I came to be. And so I was like, you know what, when I grow up, this is one of the things that I'm gonna just have to take under my wing and figure out for myself, I guess, because nobody in my family could give me the story, or they just didn't want to. I don't know. But anyway, so a couple years ago, my wife bought me a ancestry DNA kit from for Christmas. It was Christmas of like 2019 or 2020, I think. Mm-hmm. I was reluctant on taking it for a while because I had, I've been through this, the stuff before. I'm like, man, I don't want to be let down again. But just being in KAG, KAG's Accountability Group, Breathe University, just being around gentlemen like yourself, and just my faith in God, the support from my family. I was like, you know what, I need to do it, and so I put my doubts and my fears aside, and I took the test. And for a while, I kept getting like second, third, fourth cousins pop up, and I think majority of them were on my mom's side. Some people that I may have heard of, or maybe have even met. Well, one day I got a notification on the app, and it was a first cousin that had a strong DNA match. And I knew that this cousin was not on my mom's side. It was not a daughter or whatever from any of my uncles, my mother's siblings. And I was like, man, this has got to be from my biological father's side. And so I messaged the lady, my first cousin who I don't know, but I didn't get a response back. Well, I found out that her brother was, managed the account, because she got the ancestry DNA kit for like a gift as well. And her brother was the one who would do everything and check it, but he hadn't checked it in some time. But anyway, I had come to this point in my life where I had just advanced to Master Chief in the United States Coast Guard Reserve in January 2022. And I had this moment, man. I was like, you know what, God, I've been looking for my birth father my entire life. And I said, I love you either way. But if this is the year, please let this be the year, that I could find my father. I was okay, Lee, at that point of him even like not being on this earth anymore. But I had a strong feeling that I was going to be able to connect with somebody.
Right.
so I was okay, even if he was dead. So anyway, I just did some research on the internet, man. I found the cousin's name that was on Ancestry DNA just by looking up on the internet, and I found her Facebook page, and I did some scrolling. She had a private account, but there was a comment on her account that said, "Oh, look at my beautiful niece," whatever, something like that. And so I clicked on this page. This was my stepmom's page, and I started to scroll because she had a public account. And as I was scrolling, Lee, this was at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, man. Like I was just up, just searching. I started to scroll on Facebook, dude, and my stepmom, who of course like I didn't know at the time, she was like in this picture of a guy that looked eerily similar to me, and I was just like, whoa, and like my heart like just skipped a beat, and I just felt it. I was like, I think this dude might be my father. And so anyway, I contacted her a few hours later, and it was on from there, man. Like we were able to meet up in person and stuff, and it's just been amazing from there.
Yeah.
So yeah, so finding my biological father was definitely a big personal hurdle.
Wow, man, that is
Yeah,
the story behind that is a journey in itself. And I know you
sure.
said that you were in a place where you were acceptance of whether he was here or if he wasn't and what's to come, but you just wanted to find
Yeah,
him. That's huge.
absolutely. Yep.
How has this experience shaped your perspective and approach towards King's accountability?
Um, this experience has shaped my perception and just my relationship with the King's Accountability Group, because I feel like even though that I am a man of faith, um, and I believe in God, like I just feel like without the brotherhood, without the support, because I shared it with the Kings, like I shared it with y'all. So Terrell just mentioned this a few days ago, on our executive call that we had, our board of directors call, I should say. But I didn't even think about it like that, man. But I had told y'all from the start on what I was doing and the journey that I was about to take, and I had forgotten all about that because I put it out there. I opened myself up because I didn't know if it was going to be heartbreak. Like if if he would have met me and been like I don't want nothing to do with you. Like I don't know you. Like it could have gone bad. So, um, but I had to be okay with that. So I just had to I had to step out of fear and not really think about that type of stuff. I had to just go with my gut, go with my heart or whatever, and I just moved forward. But just being a part of KAG has really helped me mature and do things like that. Reach for things that may be something that the old ski wouldn't have done. Stepping out of my comfort zone, striving for better. Striving for greatness, striving for the next level. Is very meaningful.
Right.
I talk to y'all more than I talk to some of my blood relatives.
I mean, you see us every Sunday for sure. So
That's right, for
once a
sure.
week, no
That's
doubt.
that's right. That's right.
But that same goes for me. So I definitely understand that. And the journey of traveling the unknown, also stepping outside of your comfort zone, that's huge for you even
Yep,
to know like, yeah, there's a possibility where this might go left or it might go right, but I'll
yep,
never know, and I want to know. So that's big on you, man. I
for
commend
sure.
you doing that, and thank you for being so transparent with your story because we never know who we might be helping while we face these things.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Next question I have for you: what has been the biggest challenge you faced in your personal growth or achieving your goals? What's been the biggest challenge for you so far? How did you overcome it, and what role did KAG play in that process?
Yeah,
If they did at all.
yeah. Something I've had to overcome, like my biggest challenge. So this is something that I recently attained as well. So I've been out in California. So as a reserve member in the United States Coast Guard on active duty, I have been out in California on active duty orders since 2017. And I've been a geo bachelor this whole time. Now, in military speak, geo bachelor just means that you're geographically separated from your family. Your family could be in one place and then you're at another place, closer to your duty assignment, and you're by yourself, so to speak. So um, CAG has really meant a lot to me. Breathe Universe has meant a lot to me, but really CAG, because I don't feel like I'm alone out there. You know what I mean? Like I have family. I have brothers I can call up on any time of day if I need it. But anyway, so I came into the Coast Guard on active duty in 2004, right after I graduated high school. My wife and I joined at the same time. I was active duty for about 8.5 years or so, and I got out and I became a reservist. So if I would have stayed in, this is 2024, I could have been retiring this year. I could have been retiring my full pay and benefits this year. I joined in October 2004, and I could be on, I could probably be on terminal leave right now. But when you're a reserve member, it works a little differently. Like you can still do your 20 years and you can retire, but the thing is that you don't have the ability to start collecting your pay and stuff until you're about, depending on how much active duty time you have, like in your late 50s or early 60s. All right. So, like I said, I've been out there since October of 2017, and every year for the past couple years, I've been having to submit these memos or these waivers to remain on active duty, because I'm getting closer to my 20-year point. So when a reserve member gets closer to the 20-year point, like for me, I had to do this 18-year waiver, and it was a huge deal. So if they keep me on it, and if this waiver got approved, that means that they would have to give me an active duty retirement, and I could start collecting right away. And so Lee, that was something that, like I said, so it got approved, and on the reserve side, it's called sanctuary. So that means that I could stay on active duty out there in California, and within the next 3 years, because I'm at my 17-year mark as far as the reserve is concerned. So I could retire in 2027 with my full pay and benefits, and that was huge, man. So with me, Lee, I had to get in the mindset that I actually deserved it. I had to get myself in that mindset that I have earned it. I am a worthy person. Um, I have value that I constantly give to the service, to my service, and to our nation. And I really had to believe in that. And so a part of my mantra, really, it's part of my affirmation. So I've been affirming this for the past couple of years. And so, but I had to work on myself. It didn't happen overnight. Like I would wake up every morning and I would say a certain set of affirmations every year, every day in and day out. And then of course I had my different mantras and stuff. And so that really helped me out. But CAG has been there, man. Terrell has been preaching mantras to us before CAG has even started. You know what I mean? When we were still in Breathe University, Terrell was talking about mantras and stuff and how important it was in your SOPs and stuff like that. And so that was a huge hurdle of just that belief that, Ski, you earned this, you deserve this, put it in and see what happens. And so yeah, that was huge for me and my family.
Another takeaway that a lot of people probably watching this don't know is like how humble and the humility that we all have for ourselves. But then when other people speak life into us, and we like,
For
dang,
sure.
am I really in a position to receive that? So I
Yeah.
feel where Ski is coming from
Yeah.
wholeheartedly. Like I'm
Yeah.
there. So everything that he's saying, a lot of us in this group experience because
Yeah.
we feel like sometimes we just going, it's a day-to-day thing. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, type
Right.
of thing, ordeal. And I'm glad that you are in a position to be like, I am worthy. This is the work that I put in. And, it's big, man. That's a huge achievement, man. Sheesh, congratulations, man. A round of applause to you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Thank
No
you.
problem. I got a couple more questions for you, and I'll let you go.
Yeah, good. No problem.
What core values and principles guide your decisions and actions both within and outside of CAG? Can you
Okay.
provide an example of a situation where these values were particularly tested or reinforced?
Yeah. So a couple of my values are faith, family, love, integrity, and wealth, I would say. So that's something that, so when I talk about my affirmations, that I just spoke of, something that I say in the second part of my affirmations is that my wife and I have reared five amazing God-fearing children. They will continue our family's values and our legacy of what I just mentioned. So I say that. And so a part of that, how that was tested, Lee, I can give you a recent example, was me deciding to find my father. It's crazy how this is coming full circle. These are good questions, man. So the family part was big for me because I realized how my father has missed all of my childhood. He didn't get a chance to come to any of my sports games. So he wasn't out there in the stands, cheer me on. Like every time I would look up, it would either be my mom or it would be nobody up there. Sometimes he didn't get to see, some of my childhood, memories or, rites of passage, whether it came to, making good grades or stuff or, going to prom or graduating, like any of that stuff. So the selfish side of me, Sain-R or ski, thinks about self first. And I was just like, for a while, I was like, man, I don't need this. Like I have a pretty good life. God has taken me this far without a father. Why am I even doing this? So that was the selfish side of me, Sain-R. But when I think about Edwards, when I think about my family's legacy and my name, I was thinking, I'm like, you know what? I've got five kids and they are, some of my kids are still very young. And if this works out right, my father will be able to see my kids, reach these milestones, see them make good grades, be able to come to their games and cheer them on. So it was very interesting of me having to think about that from like a 100-foot view and like removing myself out of the picture and not being so selfish because I could be selfish just like any other person, but I had to think about my last name. I had to think about my wife and my kids. And Lee, something occurred to me the other day. Well, because of my wife, but she told me a few weeks ago. She's like, you know what, Ski, our son will never know a life without his grandfather. And because by the time we met him, my son he had just turned one, I think, and or no, I'm sorry, he was two. He was two, but he was super young, and he won't know a life without him. You know what I mean? And so that was like a pivotal moment, and it kind of came full circle. So that was like a challenge to my values because I almost didn't go through with it, but I had to think outside of me to really, putting that to the test and really going forward with it. I had to really think about my family and then go from there. So I hope that makes sense, Lee.
No, it makes total sense for me. I'm about to
Yeah.
next something for you real quick, and this is in between you getting back connected with your father and then your son being one. How many daughters do you have?
So four girls. Yep. So 15, 13, 10 will be 11 in a few months, and then 9.
So is it ironic enough that you got back in contact after you had your first son?
Man, ain't that something? That's something, man.
I mean, I mean, life definitely takes us on a journey. And I was just sitting back thinking, like listening to everything. I'm like, dang, the way the puzzle pieces are being able to, realign and
Yeah.
certain things, like you said, were missed. But for little
Yeah.
men, possibly, hopefully they don't get it. They won't be missed. And there's an opportunity for that, his presence to be there to be able to witness that side by side with you. That's a
That's right.
thing.
That's
So
right. But check this out too, Lee. So I got to officiate my sister's wedding as well, a few months ago. And this is my sister, one of my sisters from my father's side. So I'm my father's oldest kid too. So one of my sisters for the longest time, she was treated as the oldest, but I came into the picture and I'm the oldest. But anyway, another one of my sisters recently got married and I got to officiate her wedding. And so one of my father's things, I'm sorry, was that he would always say, um, like after he met me, he was like, man, I didn't get to teach my son, how to become a man, or like how to tie a tie and so on and so forth. And I heard this from my stepmom. She would tell me those type of stories, some of the things that he would say. And he would say, yeah, another man had to teach my son how to tie a tie. When I thought about it, I was like, well, you know what? The military taught me how to tie a tie. And one of my mentors actually taught me how to tie my favorite tie. It's called a double Windsor.
Double Windsor.
And yeah, man. So one of my mentors taught me how to do that a couple of years ago. But he asked me to tie his tie at my sister's wedding, before the wedding. And like it was just like full circle, because it's like, that's something that you would normally, a father would teach his son how to do, right? And that was our first interaction with that. And it was me doing something for my father. And I was just like, whoa, I was taken aback. So yeah.
That's big. I mean, to a lot of people, I'm gonna say that those genuine moments, you know what I mean? Those nice, subtle, simple moments are
Yeah,
super impactful, man. Those
for
are life
sure.
changing. That's definitely a memory that you hold near and dear to your heart for the rest of
For
your,
sure.
you know what I mean? Dang, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Looking ahead,
Yeah.
what are your key aspirations and goals for next year, and how do you plan to leverage the resources and support of KAG to achieve these objectives?
Okay. Yeah. So some of my key aspirations and goals would be to start, as I come towards the end of my Coast Guard career, and within these next few years, it's being able to not just be content with earning the income that I'm earning right now, but to start replacing it, like opening up my horizons, and being able to, to bring extra money in, through different revenue and income streams. And so I've been into to options trading, like over these past few months. For past few months, I've been really watching the Wall Street Trapper. His real name is Leon Howard, but I've been really digging his videos and his teaching, his style. And then there's another guy named Chris Sain that I watch and I support as well on YouTube and stuff like that. But I know that, like, there are brothers in the in the group like CB Phillips who actually introduced me to the power of not only just stocks but options trading and stuff, and like how powerful that that it can be, because you don't need a lot of money to be able to control these stocks, but you can bring a lot of money in. And so I think what I'm going to start doing even more is tapping into the resources that I have within KAG as far as that's concerned, because I know CB does it. I'm sure there's another, a couple other folks that do it as well, and just getting that knowledge. So that's some of my goals. But like specifically, just to put a number out there, I would like to work myself up, work my way up to earning 10 grand a month, uh, just passively, or whatever,
Through the stock
through
market.
options. Yeah, through the stock market, through options trading and stuff like that. That's my goal. That's like a solid number, is 10 grand a month. Yeah.
That's huge. And it's crazy
Uh-huh.
that you say that you're doing the Wall Street Trapper. I actually just started. I paid for one of his courses myself, so
Okay.
you and I have a lot of parallels, man. We can talk about
Yeah,
this
we
another
do, man.
time, but that's
That's fun.
crazy. But I guess this is a great thing for being spotlighted, because there's stuff I didn't know that
That's
we share, man. So,
There you go.
and other people probably watching this, probably sharing, and got some questions for Ski. Please feel free to reach out and ask them, because
Yeah.
all navigating this thing right now. Last question I got for you, and I can let
Uh-huh.
you get back to the family. In what ways do you feel you've contributed to the success and the cohesiveness of KAG, and what has KAG done for you?
Okay. Yeah, so I think some of the things that I've contributed is just being a good listener. I think that's one of my strong suits. I used to think how just before my professional advancement of becoming a chief in the Coast Guard, and just meeting and being around people like yourself, through KAG and everything. I used to think that listening wasn't that like good of a skill, but it's actually very powerful when you can listen to people and you can provide them with the tools and the resources they need, and you can connect people to to what they need. Like it's really a superhuman power, I think, because we can. Let me use I statements. I can be quick to respond when people talk to me. I can get into a mode to where I'm already thinking about my response. But I've learned that when I take my time and I actually listen to people, I could hear something that's missing, or I can hear why I could be so subtle as listening. It's very powerful.
I missed the last like 10 seconds of what you just
said. Okay. I was just saying that listening may be subtle, but it's actually very powerful. And when when you're speaking to somebody, or when somebody's speaking to you, they'll give you a few nuggets, here and there, and you'll pick up on it. You'll be like, oh, this person needs that. And then if you just kind of reiterate what they said, you can confirm it, and then you can just go from there. So I think that's one of my values, that I bring to the table. And but also just being a part of the board of directors for KAG, that is meaningful to me, because who I am obviously has made an impact on others. And other people see my qualities. People who I look up to have seen my value and everything, and so it's helpful to to be reaffirmed every now and then. And so I'm a part of the membership committee, and I love doing the work, just helping bring new people into the into our organization. And it's been phenomenal.
Man, and we'd love to have more people come in and funnel through the channels of the membership portal. Yeah. You'll be with our man here, Ski-O, we like to call him, you know what I'm saying? Another thing that I thought about before we get out of here was the real estate portion of these things, how we have like people that are diving into, retirement real estate, commercial real estate, international real estate, and things of that nature. Yeah. So we got a lot of stuff inside of KAG, and there's a lot of resources that we can utilize, and it's beautiful to see one of our very own board members, Ski, say that he wants to go back in and dive in and get some residual income after he retires.
That's right.
Because the most valuable asset is your time, and if you can make money while you spending time with your family or doing things that you want to do, that's definitely a great ROI in my eyes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, Ski, thank you for being the very first. And
thank you. And thank you for having me as the very first, man. This is an honor, man. Y'all keep surprising me. KAG is full of great surprises, man. Thank you for the opportunity.
Man, no problem, man. Thank you for having the time to carve it out. Hey guys, this is our first King Spotlight, and this is Sain-R Edwards. Greatly appreciate you guys, and don't know when I'm gonna be dropping this, but it'll be coming soon. Salute you, my guy.
All right, take care, Lee. Thank you.
Talk soon.
All right.